Hey, it is about that time. We got the one and only Dr. M.J. Collier on with us this morning. Get at us if you have any questions concerning the COVID-19 vaccine. 866-9-RICKEY. Dr. Collier, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey, Smiley, and how are you today?
Man, I'm blessed this morning. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing what a poor man does, which is get ready for work on Friday. But I tell you, Rickey, this is something. We got some amazing information today that's available for the Rickey Morning Show listeners, and that is that the 543,000 people in the United States. This is more than any other country, of course, but we have already vaccinated 130,500,000 people, with the president now saying he's going to do 200 million in his first 100 days in office, which is double the number that he originally stated he was going to do. And that should be achievable at the current rates, barring any changes in supply of vaccine. There have now been documented cases, Rickey, of patients that have caught the coronavirus after being fully vaccinated. 2 months after being vaccinated, remember, you're supposed to be fully covered after 2 weeks after your second dose. 2 months after being vaccinated, a doctor in New York woke up with a headache and feeling fatigued. Soon he had fever and chills, and then lost a sense of taste and smell. He then was tested and tested positive for the coronavirus. This was a huge shock to quite a few people, including Pfizer, because he received the Pfizer vaccine. But Pfizer is 95% effective, and he fell into the 5% of individuals that are not covered. It is unclear how many of those people that have been vaccinated will have breakthrough infections. The number is still expected to be quite small, however. There were 2 studies that were published in the New England Journal of Medicine this week. The initial study found that only 4 out of 8,000 individuals that were vaccinated at the Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, Texas, became infected. That infection rate is less than 0.0005%. So that's a minuscule number. But again, I tell my patients all the time, if something happens 1 out of 1,000,000 cases and it happens to you, it's 100%. So it doesn't matter what these numbers mean. So you still, our technique and technology is still to vaccinate as many people as we can as quickly as possible, that we're trying to reach herd immunity. But I tell you, if the person had the coronavirus and had natural immunity, that they probably would not have caught the coronavirus again. That's what I was about to ask. Of reinfection. So natural immunity seems to be, and this is Dr. Collier's opinion, more potent and more effective than any of the vaccines that we have out there. But that's a very good rate for that. But that was just shocking and amazing because, the health centers are vaccinating their staffs, and this doctor ended up catching corona. He had not had it previously.
Right. Oh, man.
Okay, let's go to the call.
Let's go. Good morning.
Okay, my name is Jacqueline Nicholas. I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I took a COVID shot Wednesday, and my arm is swollen like Popeye, and it's hard for me to do my job. How long does this last?
Okay, you are suffering from what's affectionately being referred to as COVID arm. And that is why Dr. Collier recommends all of Rickey Smiley listeners, if you're going to get the vaccine, that you need to prep yourself by taking an anti-inflammatory such as Motrin, Advil, or Aleve, as well as take a non-sedating antihistamine such as Claritin, Zyrtec, Zylol. Those types of medications will minimize that side effect of what you're having. It should not affect your immunity. You still should get immune from it, but you won't have the sore arm. I had patients yesterday that were telling me, well, I took extra strength Tylenol. Tylenol is strictly for pain. It is not an anti-inflammatory. And the problem with COVID arm is inflammation. So you need to take an anti-inflammatory. You start that the day before your vaccine. Take it the day of your vaccine and the day after. So 3 days dosing should minimize or stop you from having that side effect at all.
All right. You're on with Dr. M.J. Collier. Good morning.
Okay, hey, I wanted to know, I've already had the coronavirus and built up antibodies to the virus. Why is it important for me to get vaccinated? Why does man-made vaccines trump what my body did naturally?
Boy, that is a continuing the conversation that we were having earlier. I don't think that it does trump it. I think that natural immunity is very effective and probably will be long lasting. The issue is that the studies have shown, however, that if you are vaccinated after having the coronavirus surviving the coronavirus and developing antibodies to the coronavirus, that the antibody titers will increase tenfold. So you'll have much higher counts of that. But the question is, how high does your count need to be effective? So one of the things that they were saying originally was that you should wait 90 days after infection to get your vaccine. But I don't think that was really based on science. I think that was just more so they didn't want to backlog of the supplies. They would rather vaccinate people who didn't have immunity. So if you have immunity, you don't have to be in a hurry to get the vaccine, but the vaccine does have benefits.
All right, Dr. Collier, give you a disclaimer right quick.
Okay, these are the opinions of Dr. M.J. Collier, not those of Rickey Smiley, the Rickey Smiley Morning Show crew, or its radio affiliates around the country and around the world. Go to my website.